All right, so welcome to the electric lesson for Hitch a Ride by Boston. This will be the little bits of rhythm that he does on electric and the solos. And if you click that information card up in the corner, or the first pinned comment, or the link in the description box, it'll take you to my website. I did a demo of this song. I did the entire song, actually. It's like over 4 minutes. Normally I keep them short, the demos, but this one I couldn't find a place to stop it because all these guitars keep coming in. So it's a full-length demo and the acoustic lesson. Okay, so this is the electric lesson. And I'm not going to do a big, long intro here because there's so much to go over. The electric part is going to come in here after the first chorus. And it's going to sound like this. And remember, all that stuff is in the acoustic lesson. I'm not going to repeat that here, so you should really watch that if you want to get all those bits. This will make more sense if you watch that. So we're just going to start with this A power chord, and we're just going to strum it. And then we're going to arpeggiate it backwards. E string, G string. Open A. And then B string, G string, E string, B string. And now we're going to go to this G power chord. Exact same picking, except we don't strum it the first time. We just start on the high E. Now we're going to go to this. And that's like a C-shaped D chord without the little finger. And we're going to go B string, G string, D string, E string, and then D string, B string, D string, B string. Right? So, and then we finish it off by playing this A chord. With that little suspension. So that whole thing. And then it just doubles the acoustic guitar until we get to the chorus. And while the acoustic guitar is going to go, the electric's going to go. So you get that harmony there, right? And then we just play those single notes. And then we double up on the E minor 7, A, E minor 7, A, and then we do it again. And then we get into the heavy part. And I'm just going to change my sound for that, so just be a second. But before I go, I'll just tell you that that may sound like a chorus, but it's not. It's a detune effect that I use with my Nova system through the loop of my amp. +8, -8 is my setting on that detune. And I have a little bit of tap tempo delay just to give it a bit of depth. Okay, let me change over sounds. All right, so now what I've done is I've flipped over to my gain channel of my Ignator Renegade. And if you're wondering about all this gear I use, it's, again, a link in the description box. It'll take you to my gear page. And what I've done here is, I mean, I don't think they did this on the album, but I engaged my wah pedal, and I've got it down almost all the way. So you get that real mid-range type sound that Boston was kind of famous for. So what we've got here is an F-sharp power chord. It's just bam-ba-dum. And then what I do is I just go down to the E, and it's just 3 upstrokes starting from that D string. So, and then back to the F sharp, back to the E, and then you could either go You know, just keeping out all the low strings to a B power chord. Or you could go, just play the B with the suspension. And then we just finish it off by going. Right, just B, A, E. And then you hit that A. And what I did, that's where the whammy stuff comes in. And since I don't have a whammy bar on this Les Paul, I don't own a guitar with a whammy bar. So I actually went and rented a guitar. And that in itself was a whole other story. You know, I rented that guitar to go woo, 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 woo for 4 bars. And that whole thing with that guitar, that took me about 6 hours. Anyways, I won't get into it. It's a long, long story. And all you do on that is you hit that A and hit your harmonic and then do your whammy, right? And then it kind of comes in on that higher note, which is, you know, it's one of those harmonics that you can only get with a speaker cabinet, you know, where it jumps the octave sort of naturally. But I just faked it up there on B17 with the whammy. And then we've got your first solo. And the first solo after the whammy is... Where we are there is, because we're in A here, it's like A mixolydian, but this solo, all the solo is in A. You just naturally hit that G note anywhere in this middle solo. So we're in this A pentatonic, 5th position, you know, real like 1st position minor, but it's 5th position major. And we're just going to go on the G string on 16th. And get that vibrato. And the vibrato is like super important in this song. Tom Schultz just has a unique vibrato. Really, really good. And it's hard to cop his vibrato. And then he's going to do... And then we've got that. Now I hammered that note on from nowhere, that on the D string, but you could plug it. Doesn't matter, whatever way works for you. And that right there, da-da-da-da-da, like think of diddle-diddle-da on the drums, right? On top, like it's like a tom fill. Triplets. It's just... We're ending up on E15 with a full step bend. And there's 2 guitars, you know, this is all doubled and panned left and right. And one of them kind of comes in there early, right? But the main one just goes... Okay, and that's your middle solo. And then we get back into the... And then we've got the breakdown. A tune up here. And then, you know, there's that harmonic over the acoustic part. There. You do then. We just hit G11. And then we start the solo. And where we are in this is we're now in the key of D, right? Again, it's like D mixolydian. It's right there. Okay, so there's your D, your E-shaped D. There's your D-shaped D. So we're going to start all of this. 14, 16 G. And then 17, 15 B. And then full step in on 17. Then you could think of that like, just think of that D chord. Just think of those two shapes. That'll really help you out, I think. And then we start with the solo, and it's going to go, which is just, there's that 16, 14 to the G, 16 to the G. And the picking, it's kind of alternate pick there. And then and again, diddle-a-diddle-a-da. That's a trill between 14 and 15 on the E. And I hammer from nowhere that B17. Or you could pick it. Right there and there. Then, and then we slide down. We slide that down, and I actually think on the album he overdubs that. Could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like to me. Now we're going to go, and by the way, that first bit is double guitars, panned left and right, and it's solo is kind of like a duel between doubled guitars left and right and a guitar smack dab down the middle. And this one down the middle also, like I've got the wah on, I've got it the same setting as that, like that, but that one in the middle, just hang on a second, I'm just going to bend over and give me the full, that's now fully depressed to treble. So cool. We're in D major here, right? D major pentatonic, 5th position. And there again, we've got the diddle-a-diddle-a-da, like a tom fill, right? Triplets. And again, I hammer that on from nowhere. And now there's the pick slide coming in the next bit, so that bit, right? And that note, that's another overdubbed guitar. That just holds on to that D note there. If you listen really carefully, you can hear that. The lick there is, and when you're listening to the record like that, you can hear him actually hit that note when he's hitting this note. Right? So how do you do that? How do you hit that note and that note? Well, you don't. So what's happening there is, that's it. That's the part. And the upper part would be, and then these upper parts are dubbed in. The question is, how are you going to do that live? So if I was to do that live, I do it there. On the D string, right? 14, 15, 16 to 15 on the B. And then 16, 17 on the D. And then here, you're right there. 19th of the B, right? With the half step bend. And then the other part, the high part, again, that is just too hard. So I'd probably do it there. Hitting the B string. 17, 18, 19 on the D to 19 on the B. And then 19, 21 up to 22. Or you could go like that, different fingering. Okay, even still, that's really, really hard to do live. It's very unorthodox. Anyway, so coming out of that, those are the two harmony parts. The main part is here. Then we're going to go. We're there again, right? Repeat. Going down one note on that G. Then that's B string on the 15th and E string. So we want to do all this on the last three strings. Now the guitar down the middle comes in, because that's all, the doubled left and right guitars. This sequence to me is the hardest of the song, and it's going to go. Okay, that's tough. So we've got, and again we're diddle 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 da, triplets, right? Again, I'm hammering on from nowhere on that E9, G9, E note. And then we hit this, we hit that bend on B10, and we kind of just get the pitch and add the vibrato, later on. I love it when guitar players do that. It just sounds so epic. Then we've got the hardest lick. I'm not going to even try and explain that. You just have to kind of get it, slowly. That last bit, you should try and go down, hammer, up on the B. And then down when you bend B8. Real slow. And then another really tough lick, and we're going to come up to this first position, major pentatonic, but we're going to mix in some minor pentatonic licks too. And we're going to go like this. And that, to me, that is like, I just don't play like that ever. So what we've got is, this is all alternate picked, so. And then we bend B13. Right? It's like drumming, you know, on the guitar strings. Now we're going to go big bend there on E13. Again, right? And we're mixing that major 6 there on B12. It's so cool. You really got to have your chops together to play this solo, right? And there we're going to finish it off by going, which is the coolest lick, I think. It may be not the hardest, but I think it's the coolest. So it's just chromatic down from B13. And then we've got pull off, you know, G string. Then we're into the harmony section that'll take it out. And that's going to go. And this is the low part. Down to the B note on A14. Then we just go up. D, E, F sharp. And the harmony to that is (11, 12, 14). There's so much to this guitar playing. I hope I'm doing a good enough job explaining it. I can't tell you every note, right? But I think playing it slow is the best way to go. So the low part then is and the high part is and then they both just double up here and go on G17 full step bend. There's a lot of vibrato on that. And then it's that big fancy lick, which is, and that starts out by going, and then we do the speed lick. The step and a half bend on the 17th of the E. Again, I'm hammering from nowhere in that G string. Finishing up on B17 full step bend. Okay, and that just doubles up. There is, I kind of hear that in there sometimes, just a pull off from 19 to 17, you know, but I never did that on my demo because I just couldn't make that work somehow. And then the only thing is the ending. Then, you know, one guitar is that note there, and another guitar is there. I put that in there too. So we've got, because that A chord, right? I don't think that's in there on the original record, but I put it in anyway, so you get a 3-part harmony there. And then it just kind of tails out. And there's like the final harmonic there. Okay, so, and that's it. I know, a really huge lesson. This is going on and on and on, but there's so much to it, right? So let's just go over that whole, all the lead parts. Or that would be. And whoops. And that is it. So much to it. Fantastic guitar playing. Great, really, guitar orchestration is how I would have to explain it to somebody. And, you know, ever since that album came out, it's just been, I've always been fascinated with it. Just the sounds and the production and just that massive wall of, like, epic guitars. Just awesome. So good. Anyways, I hope that I did enough to show you how to play it. Stuff like this, it's really only for guys that have been playing a while. So I can't, show every pick, every upstroke, every note, every bend. It's just more of it's in this position, and you just kind of watch, play it slow, and figure it out. All right. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I hope you get something out of it. Make sure you watch the acoustic lesson. Make sure you watch my demo. And we'll talk to you next time.